Hey. What's up?
Oh my gosh.
Today is Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
November 14th,
Yep.
2021. It is currently
7:30 p.m.
7:30 in the PM. Post-meridian.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that what it stands for?
I think so.
Look it up.
Okay. What does PM mean? Post-meridian. Yep.
Well, that's a great episode. See you later,
See you
guys.
guys. Thanks for watching.
No, but really, what today's topic is about. What's up? I'm Max. This is the Malgam podcast.
Ante meridium is the AM. It means before noon.
Yeah, that's what AD is ante domini, which is just Latin for after death. Anno domini.
It says here it's Latin for the year of the Lord.
Sure. Seems like not enough words for that. Anyway, this is episode 3.
Mm-hmm. So we've each had a turn at hosting.
Yep.
So now it's
And,
gonna be perfect.
And also, I didn't get a guest because I didn't feel like it. Also, I heard a lot of good things about episode 2, which is good. Also, I already expected this to happen, but I think your episodes are going to be more entertaining than mine because I don't really add stuff.
Sure.
I just sort of put the episode out.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really care.
I want to clarify a few things about episode 2. So 1, it got way less views than episode 1. We had like 173 views on episode 1 as of now, and 111 on episode 2. So it's still good numbers. I still appreciate that.
Yeah.
However, I edited the entire thing on a laptop, and so you know how laptops have like a mouse, and you have like a little remote little thing you put in the USB to connect the mouse to the computer, unless you have a Bluetooth mouse. But I didn't have a Bluetooth mouse at the time, so I had to plug in that thing in order to get the mouse to work to edit. But I also had to connect a SD adapter to get the actual film from the camera onto an SD into the computer. Okay, so to get the actual episode 2 in the computer, I need to use this USB adapter. However, the 2 ports for the USB adapters are directly next to each other, and the SD adapter is enormous, and it took up both USB ports. So I had to edit without using a mouse at all. So I edited the entire episode 2 while still learning how to use Premiere Pro on the little rinky-dink little mouse triangle thing.
Trackpad.
Yeah, the little trackpad. And I couldn't right-click at all. I had to do Control F10 or FN F10 to actually right-click. So it was a very tedious process, and I took off a day of school, and I did it during that day. And it took me like 8 hours to edit 1 hour of footage, which was a lot.
Not efficient.
Yeah, it was very inefficient.
Also, it was a laptop.
It was also a laptop, so it took forever to actually load stuff. But I got the hang of it. But I never want to do that again.
Speaking of time travel, what do you what do you think about it?
Time travel?
Yeah. Do you think it's possible?
Okay, so here's the thing with time travel. The way that we think of it is totally jacked. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this thing.
Well, you can't just say that.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't, because just because we think of it one way, and like science is like, oh, it could be this way. It doesn't mean that what we're thinking is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that there's more evidence to suggest another way of thinking is more correct.
That's true.
Because most people think of time as like a line.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily how it would actually be. It's more of like
I blame Loki for that.
a web.
Yeah.
But think about this.
Mm-hmm.
We have just as much evidence that it's a web than that is a line.
It's all theoretical.
Exactly.
It's whatever you want to be.
Well, time isn't real.
It's completely interpretable.
Yeah. Because think about space.
Uh-huh.
You can go like this in space, and then you can go like this in space. But in time, you can just go forward and back? No. Side and side. How do you do that in time?
Exactly. It's all so here's this idea that human discovery is largely motivated by things that we create, right? A lot of concepts come from logic things that we discover over time, like mazes or shapes or things that give us laws which motivate ideas, right?
Sure.
Like, as we discover different things about the universe, we slowly discover more and more things because we have new thinking
Questions.
patterns. We have new questions. We have new
It's all
sources.
about questions.
Yeah. It's all about building off of what you have to get new stuff, which is also the point of Clash of Clans. But
It is.
but in terms of the time travel, the way I was thinking about it, so I think time is a law, right? It is a thing that exists. It's not something that we completely made up. It's just a term that we keyed.
Yeah.
So it is something that exists. It is
So,
a natural
When
law.
we say like we made up time, we didn't make up time. We made up the way we perceive time and the way we measure it.
Yeah.
Like a minute doesn't exist.
Mhm.
It's just like that happened. Like
Yeah.
things go for a certain amount of
Quartz
distance.
quantizations.
Yeah.
Oscillations, not quantizations. So watches work by counting the vibrations of oscillations that the element quartz has, and it ticks that, and it's like every 48,000 times it does that is like a second or millisecond or whatever. Anyway, I was thinking about how with time travel we have space, time, and matter, which I think are the three like principal things of the universe. Okay, everything has that at every point, or the absence of that. So when you have space, which is like,
How do you have the absence of space and time?
I guess it only applies to matter. But anyway, so you have space, which is like, you have time, which is like a sheet, and space, which is like a sheet, and time is like the interactions within that sheet, and mass or matter is indents in that sheet of space. Okay, that's the way that I was taught it, or I learned about it, or I like to think about it. So you have a specific point in time, which is this current layout of the universe. So like think about like a map. You have certain things that are in certain locations, and you have the weight of those things in those locations. So a mountain creates a bigger indent than Max does, because Max is smaller and less dense and bigger than a mountain. Hopefully. But because you have this layout, you also have another layout for the nanosecond after that. So you get a new sheet, infinitely divisible, for every thing that you have. Anyway, time travel, the way that you think about it would not work, right? Because
The way that you might think
the way
about
that you might
it.
think about it, yeah, sorry. The way that it's like secularized, like there's a time machine, and you go inside the time machine, you flip a switch, pick a time, and then boom, you're in that exact place thousands of years ago, or millions of years ago, or before time itself. Because that's not how it works. Because our planet is moving through space thousands and thousands of miles per hour, right? We're going very fast. Our galaxy is going even faster than that, and our solar system is going in between. But so we are moving through space, through this sheet, extremely quickly. And if you were to time travel without teleporting into the even a second before you are currently, you would either materialize into something, right? Or you would like
Be in space.
you would be in empty space and you would just die unless you had like an astronaut's helmet.
But do you know what Doctor Who is?
Yeah, I know little about Doctor Who.
So my brother and I used to be really into Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
for all those who don't know, Doctor Who is a British TV series. It's the longest running science fiction TV series of all time.
Okay.
Basically, it's about this guy named the Doctor, who is, he's from this planet called Gallifrey.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, everyone there is a Time Lord.
Okay.
They have 2 hearts, one on each side, and they can, like, do stuff with time.
Including the Doctor.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, his planet blew up, and he's the only one left.
Mm.
Supposedly. There's, like, a bunch of plot things that change that and whatever. But basically, the whole premise of the show is that the Doctor has this thing called the TARDIS, which is a old British phone booth, which is like a blue thing with a light on the top.
The police box.
Police box, yeah. And you open it, and in reality, those, like, existed, and you open it, there's a phone there, you could call the police, like, just on the street.
Mm-hmm.
But his, when you open it, it's, like, bigger on the inside. That's, like, the whole thing. Everyone always goes, and they're like, oh, it's bigger on the inside.
So it's like a whole room inside a small box.
It's like not a room. Well, it is a room, but it's like a control station.
Okay.
So you walk in, it's bigger, you close it, and then there's like a bunch of buttons and switches and a tube in the middle around this like control panel. And basically the whole thing is like the Doctor and his companions, who are just random humans that he meets along the way, or aliens, they like go around solving mysteries or helping people just randomly. But the whole point is that, like, the TARDIS can move through time and space. Mm-hmm. So, like, it can just fly, or it can, like, go through time. Or both. So, like, the whole point is that what if there was a time travel machine that could go through space and time? Then time travel would work.
Nope.
Well, I know it wouldn't. But what you were saying is that if you just did time travel, the space part would not be right. But his goes through time and space.
Do you have the problem with that?
Yeah?
Do you want to say that, or should I?
You can say it.
All right. Displacement, okay? You have an object or a person who dematerializes out of existence in one time, in one space, and rematerializes in another space. You create a black hole at some point because you have...
At both points.
Huh? At both points, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you dematerialize from one point. All of the molecules in that area rush in to fill that void where you left because matter and just disappeared, which is not allowed to happen because that will create bad things.
There is matter everywhere in the entire space that we know of. Mm-hmm. So, like, if there's ever a point where, like, atoms don't exist, everything would rush in so fast that they would collide with such force and density that it would create a black hole. Mm-hmm. And then on the opposite spectrum,
you create you push molecules that are already existing, or you materialize with them, which would mess you up in more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, time travel the way that we think of it would, or the way that you probably thought about it, would not work. However, if you had a system like the police box or the TARDIS. TARDIS.
TARDIS.
Okay, if you had a system like a TARDIS where it teleports and travels back and forward through time, and you also added a swapping feature where you swap the molecules with what you are currently at with the molecules that are there, you might have a chance, but you also have a problem with, like, what if there are certain elements here that aren't supposed to be here, and that would create a reaction that would... So, it's really weird.
But also, the way that the TARDIS, like, goes places is very... They don't really explain it very much, because there's, like, this whole sequence that happens. It doesn't happen every time, because it takes long, but what happens is, they're in it, they start the time travel or whatever, and then it cuts to the scene where there's a TARDIS, and it's flowing through, like, a wormhole, and it's flying around, and there's, like, a big, colorful wormhole that it's going through.
Like in Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Yeah, kind of. And then it goes, and then it, like, then they're there, and they open the door, and they're like, oh, we're here. Uh-huh. So, like, I don't know what that's supposed to represent, but maybe it's trying to represent, like, oh, they're going through something to get somewhere. Mm-hmm. And if they're not actually teleporting, then displacement wouldn't really be an issue.
A wormhole.
Yeah, wormhole.
Yeah.
But also, I don't really know how wormholes work. Because, like, do they have to be big enough that something can go through it?
So here's the thing.
Like, if a wormhole is this big, could I fit a car through it?
Here's the thing with wormholes. So, it goes back to the idea of space being a sheet and time being, like, also part of that sheet. And matter having indentations in that sheet. So if you have space being a sheet, right? I'm not gonna do that. Like a sheet, and you have something that's so dense that it can create a hole in the sheet, like a black hole. A black hole would be big enough to create a hole in the sheet and connect to another hole in another sheet in a different time, right? And you now have a wormhole. However, you can never travel through a black hole and live, at least as far as we know, because there's lots of problems with that.
Do you know what spaghettification is?
Where you... Yeah.
Huh? No.
You get squeezed so much. Yeah.
We don't get squeezed. It's just that... So, theoretical black holes... I mean, we've witnessed a black hole.
Yeah.
Or what we think to be a black hole.
But we don't... Nothing happened.
What do you mean?
There's a story...
We took a picture of it.
Uh-huh. There's a story of this sun that died, right? And it was supposed to be big enough to turn into a black hole, and they were watching it, and they were like, oh, shoot. And this happened a long time ago because of light and stuff, in actual time. But we could observe this, and we were like, oh, shoot, this sun's about to die. What's going to happen? Is it going to be like, and then black hole? Is it going to, like, shrink and then become a black hole? But all we saw was it just disappeared. Like, it was there 1 minute, and then the second later, it was just gone, right?
Mm.
And there's a special name they gave it. It was like an ultimate failure or a complete failure or something. But, like, it was very confusing to a lot of people at the time, and probably still is now, why nothing happened. It just disappeared.
Yeah. So the picture wasn't necessarily a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
It was just... Well, the thing was, in, like, the early 2000s, early 2010s, they had mathematical figures that could represent what a black hole should be, and they used that to make animations of a black hole, which was, like, the black thing in the middle with a bunch of light going around it. And that's pretty much what the picture looked like. It was very fuzzy, though.
Uh-huh.
But, so the point I was trying to make before is that, like, theoretically, if you have a black hole, the closer you get... So, a lot of people don't know this, but some do, because, like, people talk about it now. But, like, the closer you are to a gravitational pull that is very strong, the faster time goes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very weird.
The Einstein experiment.
Yeah. Like, you put a stopwatch on the bottom of the Earth and one on a building, and this one is faster than this one, like, by a second or something.
Also speed.
Yeah. So, the thing is, it's not, like, the Earth isn't that much of a change, but a black hole has so much density and so much mass that the difference between the Earth and the black hole is that, like, if you get closer and closer to a black hole, you'll be traveling so fast that your atoms rip apart from you. Mm-hmm. So that's what spaghettification is. Like, you get really close to a black hole, and then eventually your atoms just rip from you.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just a theory, obviously, but I don't know. Would that hurt? Or would you just, like...
Would that hurt?
I don't know how fast it would happen, though. It'd probably happen really fast.
But also, time gets all jacked up with that, too, so it might be weirder. It might be
Actually, it would happen in less than a nanosecond.
Uh-huh.
Because it would happen faster and faster as you got closer, which is why.
Here it is. The Atlantic. Stars aren't supposed to go out like this. When a massive star went missing, astronomers expected to find a supernova in its place, but there wasn't one. It was a pleasant surprise for us. If indeed the star turned into a black hole with no supernova at all, then it is a case of gone without a bang that some astrologers have been searching for a while now. So I guess this was something that they predicted, and it happened.
But they don't know why.
So here's the thing. Let's also get into the theory of relativity. The theory of relativity is this idea that laws act differently depending on where you are. If you were to dumb it down a lot. Now, this is like a really big concept. But so there's two major laws defining theories of how the universe works. General relativity... Wait. What's small things?
Subatomic?
No, quantum physics and general relativity. And Wait, no, I'm going to jack this up.
E equals mc squared.
Yeah.
Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared.
Yeah. General relativity and quantum mechanics. Yeah, I got it right. See, I know what I'm talking about.
You said quantum physics, I think.
Quantum mechanics.
Or maybe you did say that. Whatever.
I think I did say physics. Anyway, so all modern physics rests upon these two ideas. So there's general relativity, which is like the way that big things work, which is like it works in terms of how we have the stopwatch at the top and the bottom, and time works differently depending on your gravitational pull and how fast you're going. So there was this idea for a longest time. I don't know if it's legitimate or not, but if you travel at the speed of light, time stops. And if you travel faster, you go back in time. Which, I don't know. But it's not possible. You can never go faster than the speed of light. I extremely doubt that unless we figure out how to make...
Well, I'm pretty sure they made something that went, like, the fastest... My brother told me this a long time ago, so I don't know if this is true. If you're watching this, Xavier, you know what I'm talking about. He said that there was, like... I don't know where it was, but he said there was some sort of train or like a bullet train sort of thing where...
The magnets.
It was on magnets, so there was no friction. Or there was friction by the air, but they made it, like, really aerodynamic or whatever. And they had... I don't know what they used to propel it, but... It was going so fast that, like, it was the fastest thing they had made go, you know? Like, faster than trains and rockets and all that. And eventually they weren't, like, near the speed of light, but it was, like, so fast that you couldn't see it.
Really?
Like, you just couldn't see it.
Huh.
But that was it. Like, like, it didn't go the speed of light, but it got close enough, I guess, that you couldn't see it. So then they were theorizing, like, if you go further... Where does it go?
Is it piloted?
No.
Okay.
No way. You would die. You would die. The G-force on that would kill you.
Yeah. But yeah, the idea being general relativity, the way big things move, the way that everything is relative. And then there's quantum mechanics, which is the really, really small stuff, and how the amount of mass an object has, or how small you go, laws behave differently. And the problem is, they don't work with each other. General relativity does not agree with quantum mechanics. They're both very revolutionary ideas, and they're both equally true, but they don't mix. They don't overlap. They disagree with one another. So
they're not complete opposites.
They're not complete opposites, but they don't coexist well.
Some laws do not make sense
there are
together.
exceptions, and there cannot be exceptions in this kind of thing. In order to have a theory of everything. So there's certain like theories that are supposed to like fill these loopholes, like string theory, M theory, but we're still pretty far away from that. There's a lot of stuff going on that maybe like a ton of stuff that I don't know about that is supposed to help fill this void, but the current goal is to try to find a theory of everything. A theory that connects quantum mechanics and general relativity together, so we have one unifying law of the universe. However, then we have to deal with stuff like dark matter and quantum computers and all that junk, which
quantum computers we already have.
Yeah, but like there are weird exceptions to certain rules when it comes to those. Like you have input and outputs that don't work like a normal computer would.
Right.
But yeah, theory of everything would be cool.
Isn't that what Stephen Hawking
Yep.
did? He was like...
Well, he did not do it.
Well, he made a book.
That was his mission.
He made a book. That was called The Theory of Everything.
Yo!
What?
I just got an email saying that my act got to be in variety show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
Which
cool.
one, the violin one?
Yeah, the violin one.
Nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to abortion. No, I'm joking. Anyway, I was gonna ask on a question of time travel. If time travel was like possible, which obviously...
Where would you go?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay,
say that.
good.
I was gonna say, would you rather go forward in time or backward in time? To any time.
Backward.
And then what?
Huh?
To where? Not where, but when.
Not where. When.
Yeah. When are we? Not when, Sherman. Wait.
No, so I have this idea of degrowth, which is the idea that
Oh yeah.
we've advanced in a society to a point where it's detrimental to our existence, where we are really cool in the way that we've made everything super complicated, but it was never meant to be this way. And as we progress and we make things more complicated and we make life more easier for ourselves, we also create a bunch of stress, which is unnecessary, and kind of something that I, as a person who has minimalist ideals, kind of wants to escape from. So I would go back to a time where there weren't as many modern
Advancements.
modern like handicaps, modern helping things, I don't know. Modern luxuries, because
So what time period?
I don't
are you
know,
talking?
like I'm thinking like
I feel like the problem with that idea is you can't pick and choose.
Mhm.
Like, if you go back to a certain point, yeah, we are not going to have, like, monopolies and giant companies that own the world.
right
But you're also not going to have vaccines. and,
modern
like,
medicine, yeah. Which
So,
is
like,
sucks.
Yeah. So,
There's
like,
this-
you have to choose
Mhm.
what you are willing to give up
There's
to
this
gain.
there's this YouTuber called Xherb1A.
Yeah, I know.
You know him?
Mhm.
He did this idea. Well, he did this video where he talked about making yourself a deity. And he was like, first figure out time travel. That was like the starting things. Like, right, so congratulations, you just built a time machine that works without all of the flaws that we just talked about. Now, time to make yourself a god. So you need to, before you go to back in time travel, you need to memorize all these certain things, and then when you go back, you introduce all these things to all these people, and make yourself awesome. So you're supposed to memorize certain languages. You're supposed to memorize remedies and basic medicine things so that you can make yourself seem like a healer of sorts. You memorize like freaking like gambling things and like certain monarchy systems so that you can like get to the top. And then it's a really interesting video. I'll send it to you so you can put it in the
It also
description.
depends on your gender, ethnicity,
Mhm.
as long as
Definitely.
you bring a gun.
Huh?
If you bring a gun, no
That's a
matter
good
what
point, yeah.
gender, ethnicity, you'll be fine.
Yeah. That was another point he made. He was talking about like modern fighting tactics
Mhm.
and weaponry.
Well, I'm sure that like, if you took like a Marine
Mhm.
and you put them against a Spartan,
Yeah.
it would be not that like it would be pretty close.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
That'd be interesting. I'd pay to see that.
I mean, Spartans were like crazy.
Yeah.
Like they put their baby on a mountain, and if it didn't survive, they just killed it.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
They took their toddlers. Well, I don't know if it was toddlers. It was like preteen, like 8 to 10.
Uh-huh.
They would put them on like a mountain, and if they survived, then they were accepted in the army. Well, this was just for guys,
Sure.
and if they weren't, then they just let them die
Wow.
because they weren't strong.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's awesome, but it also sucks.
I would have lived.
I also agree with your like de-evolution thing.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Degrowth.
not degrowth, yeah, whatever. I agree somewhat with it because I think there are certain things that are too big and things that are too small.
Mm.
Like, I think that there never should have been a company that has as much money as it does or has as much power as it does.
Sure.
Because, like, if you think about Amazon or Disney or, like, any company that has, like, over $1 billion or $1 trillion in money,
Mhm.
they can literally buy a country.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense to me. They are a company.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a thing. Also, I don't really believe in countries, but that's,
Yeah.
like, more of a political thing.
Yeah.
Do you believe in countries?
I believe the countries exist, but
But I mean, like,
I don't
do you
think
believe
that,
that
I don't
there
think
should be?
people can own land. That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I don't believe.
Yeah.
But also,
You
I
taught me
think
that idea.
Yeah, I did. I also think that money is a very interesting subject.
Mhm.
Because, like, I don't know yet if I think money should or shouldn't exist, but I know that money, like, doesn't mean anything.
That's part of my degrowth idea. That's probably one of the driving principles is that
Bartering should be...
bartering should
yeah.
be reinstilled.
But the thing is, how do you determine the value of something?
You don't. It's all
It's all subjective?
individual. Yeah. That's the point. Like if
That
I
makes a
think
lot
something
of conflict, though. Because what if I go to someone, I'm like, for you, I'll give you a sheep for 5 oranges, but for this guy, it's a sheep for 20 oranges.
Yes.
I guess, yeah, to your own need, yeah.
Is it really worth that? Mm-hmm.
Socialism.
Yep. I'm not a socialist.
I'm not either.
He's a democratic socialist.
Yeah. Representation. Anyway, back to time and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that
Oh shoot! I got accepted into variety show.
Yeah, I know, you said that already.
Stops the video.
No,
you
it
hear
doesn't
Max's
stop.
fingers tapping right now. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Hey, don't look at that.
Oh shoot.
Oh, here's a good one.
Okay.
This is back with time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really, but it's along those lines. So, I don't know how much you're into this kind of stuff, but I'm sort of into it, like true crime and stuff.
Okay.
Like unsolved mysteries.
Okay.
How do you feel about that kind of stuff?
I mean,
if there was one unsolved mystery that you know of that you would want to know the answer to, what would it be? Do you know any unsolved mysteries?
not really. Like you talking about like the answer would just be bestowed upon me, and I'd be like, "Oh shoot, now I know the answer."
It's
or
like,
it'd be
if
like,
it's like,
"Oh, now you're gonna try to figure and solve this mystery."
Yeah, like let's say there was a conspiracy theorist that was like, "There's no way John Wilkes Booth killed."
Sure.
What's his
So-
name? Lincoln.
Yeah.
Who killed Kennedy?
Robert De Niro.
No. What? Robert De
Who
Niro.
killed Kennedy? They talked about this in David Bishop.
What?
No, that's a book. Who killed?
JFK. Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, they talk about that in.
Yeah, so a lot
Umbrella
of people
Academy.
don't think Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy
Why?
because they think he was just a setup. Like, he was there to take the blame for either a government conspiracy or, like, a CIA thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they would be like, I want to know that unsolved mystery.
Okay.
And then they would instantly know, like, in their head, if it was actually Lee Harvey Oswald, it would be like, Lee Harvey Oswald did it, this is how, this is whatever. So,
Why is it called true crime? Okay.
that's just, like, the category of
crime.
stuff. Well, no, I think it's true crime because it's, like, crime that has happened in real life. It's not, like, fiction.
Oh, okay.
Because there's, like, crime stories and there's true crime stories.
We're talking about mysteries. Or we're talking about actual like crimes.
What do you mean?
Like there are some mysteries that I'd be like, oh, I wonder what this like.
That's true. Both. Do
Okay.
one for one.
A
one
mystery
for
of the universe and a specific crime.
Yeah.
My crime. Dude,
Also,
stop.
If you hear my dog, he does this weird thing where whenever he's laying down, he goes.
It actually scared me for a second. I thought there was like a person behind me. I was like,
If you like pet him, he'll do it too. He'll do it even louder.
that's weird.
He's weird, yeah. I don't know what it is. Anyway,
Max's dog's name is Max.
he was already named that when we got him, and my brother was like, "We should change his name to Rex. He'll still answer to it." And I was like, "No."
I don't really know any true crime things that I'd be like.
All right, I'll do
dying
mine
to guess.
then.
Okay, what's yours?
I think
Not
this
the
is one of
Zodiac.
my most favorite. No, not the Zodiac, because they already have a lead for that.
I know. I was gonna say Zodiac, but I know about that now
Well, yeah, but they don't know it was him for sure though.
because he's dead.
He is dead. But
I watched
honestly,
the
that's
movie.
cool.
I watched the movie.
He like did movie reviews on some website, and he like I forget. Anyway.
He confessed.
Oh no. It was he was doing movie reviews, and there was documentaries about other serial killers, and he was like their work was bad or whatever.
Wow.
He wasn't saying like I'm a
I
serial
did it,
killer,
but
but he was
it's a
saying
pretty
like
big hit.
this is a stupid documentary about a stupid person. But anyway, the one I would want to know is D.B. Cooper.
Talk about it.
Do you know about him?
Nope.
D.B. Cooper is the most popular and most controversial unsolved airjacking mystery of all time.
Okay.
So basically, there was a flight from I don't know where to I don't know where. But there was a guy on the flight, and he was wearing glasses, a suit and tie, and he had a briefcase. He got on. His briefcase was the only thing he had to, like, carry on. So he goes in. He's sitting there. He orders I think scotch and Coke or something.
Okay.
Some drink. But anyway, basically, the waitress or lady comes by. He gives her a note. She's like, all right. And then she keeps walking. He goes, "Miss, you might want to read that." She opens the note.
They talk about this in Loki.
Yeah, they do.
They do, yeah.
He was D.B. Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. She opens it, and it says like,
I have a bomb.
I have a bomb. And so basically, he opens this thing, and he opens the briefcase, and it shows like a bunch of wires and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't know about bombs. Like, no one knew about bombs. So it could have been a bomb. It could have not been a bomb. They don't really know.
Right.
But anyway, he says he wants a lot of money, $100,000 or something, in cash. So what they do is they, like, call the people. They're like, we need this money or he's going to blow up this plane. Mm-hmm. They land. They get refueled. He asks for, like, 4 parachutes or something and all the money. He gets all the money. But he says he's going to keep the crew hostage on there, but everyone else can leave.
Okay.
They go back up, and he's like, all right, just fly this way. Fly wherever. So the guy starts flying, the pilot. He takes one of the parachutes, all the money, and he jumps out, like, midway. Like, around Colorado, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. In, like, the West, the Midwest or something. And he goes, and that's it. That's all we know.
He just jumped out of the plane?
Yeah, he disappeared.
He got away with it.
Well, they found money, but not all of it. Like, they found a few $100 bills because what they did was, the way that, like, if they ever give money to someone who's ransoming someone, what they do is the government will look at the serial numbers on the bills so that they can trace it if they ever use it. But the thing was, they found some of the serial numbers, but, like, that washed up in a river, but that was it. And that's the image that they have of him that the people described. So basically, there have been a bunch of stories.
$200,000.
$200,000, yeah. There have been like hundreds of stories about people that are like, yeah, my relative is DB Cooper, but like we don't know who actually did it. He just disappeared.
It says in ransom and parachuted to an uncertain fate over southwestern Washington.
He could have died, but then where's the money?
The Wikipedia page says disappeared November 24th, 1971.
It's crazy.
That's whack.
Yeah.
So you'd want to know who he was?
I don't know who he was, what actually happened. Some people say that he doesn't exist.
What?
And the airline people did it for the money. And that could be a possibility. No one saw him but those people and the people on the flight. Also, he had a clip-on tie, which I thought was really funny. Yeah. He took it off before he went.
That's funny.
That's what I want to know. Who DB Cooper is. Because it's like almost certainly a fake name. Like, they search for him all the time, and DB Cooper doesn't exist.
Sure. Interesting.
But yeah.
You know a movie you'd like?
What?
Non-Stop. Ever seen that?
No.
Okay.
Have you seen Zodiac?
Yeah. The one with Robert Downey Jr.
and Jake Gyllenhaal.
And Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that. I just watched it like a couple
weeks ago. Non-Stop. What is that?
So Non-Stop is a movie about it's actually starring no, not that.
Robert Downey Jr.
Nope. That guy.
Oh. Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't seen it, but I've seen
What's his name?
Things for this.
He's the I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah, he played Qui-Gon Jinn. Or Qui-Gon Jinn.
Who played Qui-Gon Jinn? Did he actually?
Yeah?
I didn't know that. Liam Neeson. No, Liam Neeson. Yeah, so
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Anyway, so starring Liam Neeson.
He trained the Batmans.
I'm not gonna give away the ending, but Non-Stop is a movie about a Liam Neeson who plays a what do you call an air marshal? He plays an air marshal on a flight, and he has like home problems. Like his wife and him aren't getting along, and they have a daughter, and they're fighting a ton. Mm-hmm. But he gets on this plane, and his job is an air marshal is the guy on the plane who's like he's a secret policeman. So no one knows who the air marshal is because they're not supposed to. Because think about it, if you're a plane hijacker, the first person you want to take out is the air marshal because he's the only one on the plane allowed with a gun, right? So he is kept hidden so that no one knows. So he's dressed up as a passenger, and he sits with the passengers, normally towards like the back of the plane, so he can see everybody. But so the air marshal, the crew knows who he is, but no one else does. But so he's on a plane, and his job is to stay there and make sure nothing's out of hand. Because think about it, if you are in an isolated space of people and no one's allowed to have weapons, if you have a weapon and you somehow sneak one on, you control all those people. So the air marshal was instituted after 9/11 in order to keep hijackings like that from happening.
There's not always one, though.
There's not always one, but I think like most times there are.
I wouldn't say that.
There should be. Anyway, but this guy's an air marshal, and he receives a text on his phone on a private, like, network that says, hello, how are you this evening? And he's like, who is this? So someone on the plane is talking to him saying, like, I'm going to kill someone every so amount of time until I get this much money. And everyone's like, oh, shoot. Well, he doesn't tell anyone at first because he doesn't want to cause a panic. But he goes to the captains and he goes to the crew and he's like, guys, we need to, like, report this. And at first he's like, we shouldn't believe him. Like, he wires the FBI and the FBI is like, yeah, we shouldn't respond to threats like this. And we shouldn't comply with his demands. Someone ends up dying. But
how'd they die?
Exactly. The hijacker makes it seem that the air marshal did the killing. Okay? So the air marshal suspects someone.
What, they got shot?
No. So I don't want to, like, spoil too much of the movie, but the air marshal suspects someone because he's like monitoring on cameras who's on their phone when these are being inspected. And he sees this one guy who's, like, really, like, seems kind of like the character kind of seems like a guy who'd be angry and be really pissed off, and he doesn't agree with the air marshal, and he, like, gets mad when they start doing searches and stuff. So he's like, oh shoot, it's probably this guy. And
what ethnicity is him?
I don't remember, but I don't know. But he takes him to the back of the plane, and he's like talking to me. He's like, I know what you did, and he's like, he's like, no, you don't, and he's like, it wasn't me. Like, because the hijacker was also talking to this guy about a different thing, and he's like, someone's gonna approach you.
Blackmailing people.
He's blackmailing people all the time. Yeah. So what ends up happening is the air marshal is convinced that it's this guy. And then the guy who thinks is the prime suspect tries to kill him, right? But they get into this tussle in the back of the plane, and the air marshal ends up killing this guy. And then...
Why?
Because the guy pulled a knife on him.
Oh, how did he get a knife?
He had a knife. I don't know. He just, like... You just gotta work with me here. There's like a... No, I think he takes the gun. I don't remember. I watched this summer. But, he's like, somehow, he tries to kill the air marshal kills him. Mm-hmm. And then a text comes through the phone on the private network saying, 1 down.
Okay. And
this process keeps repeating, and it makes it seem like the air marshal is doing all the killings. Right?
Well, he is.
He is, but...
Just knock him out.
Yeah. So it's really weird and convoluted. But it's a good movie. And then the ending of the movie, it crescendos to, like, a really good climactic point. And a really cool ending.
And it turned out to be the daughter.
It's a completely different ending than you think it is.
It was the mom.
Because the whole FBI starts thinking, like, oh, it's this guy now, right? And the guy on the it's the air marshal. Air marshal's, like, doing this. He's, like, upset with his career, and it's on the news, and everyone's watching it on the plane. They're like, oh shoot, like, this guy's hijacking our plane, and so no one trusts him, but he's still trying to figure out who the killer is, and, like, it's really interesting.
Interesting. That's why D.B. Cooper did it. He watched that movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's his inspiration.
So do you have anyone now that I said that?
No.
Okay. So do your other one then.
The Mystery of the Universe?
Yeah, and then I'll do mine.
Probably.
Or Mystery of Earth. I know what I would say. Mystery of Earth.
What would you do? Stonehenge.
No. That's a good one, though. How did they make the pyramids?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know how they made them, but I want to know exactly how.
Don't we know?
No.
Like ramps and stuff?
Well, we don't know exactly. I mean, yeah, they have, ramps is what they said happened. Mm-hmm. But have you seen what they looked like before they were tarnished? Mm-hmm. Like, they were, like, crazy cool.
Yeah.
So how did they put a ramp up and then clean it?
Slaves.
That's why. Well, yeah, that's what they say. They say slaves, but, like, I don't know. It seems crazy to me.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy impressive. Also, feet.
A bunch of places had slaves, but there is where they had the giant temple.
Yeah, because they were like.
I mean, they had temples everywhere, but like still.
Okay, I would probably
what
do.
Would yours be?
Is God real? I'd figure that out.
That'd be a good one.
And then I'd have evidence for that, or evidence for not that.
It's not really evidence because it's just in your head.
Well, if you solve a mystery, you have to have evidence.
Well, how would there be evidence against that?
But that's the mystery I want to solve.
Throw a coin into a well, and if it comes back out, God's not
God's
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. That would change the world.
Also, I want to know about, I'm trying to think. There was this other unsolved mystery that I was like, whoa, that's cool. Look up popular unsolved mystery.
Mr.
See, the thing is, I, like, know a bunch of these, but I don't know them until I know them. I don't know that. Nope.
The
don't know
Green
that.
Bicycle Murder? Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you know one I recently saw?
Jack the Ripper.
Oh, that one's a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one I recently saw? So, I was watching this video on YouTube where it's basically like a bunch of these people in the like 70s and 80s and stuff before they had like a bunch of tracking. They just like changed their name and like left their house.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did was they would leave their house, do whatever for a while, and they would stay somewhere, but take the identity of a kid that died.
Okay.
So, like, if a little kid died, they don't have a life anymore, and, like, no one really knows about them.
Mm-hmm.
So they just take that name, and then they get a copy of their birth certificate, and then they can get social security number, driver's license, all that stuff. And then they assume that identity, but then they would legally change their name. So it's like they changed their name twice.
Dang.
Whoa, Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah.
I know a bunch about him. He's crazy, dude. Because he's so matter of fact about everything he did.
Yeah.
Which makes him so crazy.
Murdered 17 males.
Yeah, he was gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did experiments on them.
That's
he was
weird.
trying to make zombies. But like sex zombies.
That's interesting.
It was disgusting. He what he tried to do is drill a hole in someone's head and put acid in to try to make them a zombie, but it just killed them, obviously, because he's stupid.
Dang.
But, like, whenever they finally found out him, he had, like, freezers full of body parts.
Bro.
And he was disgusting. But then once he was in prison, he seemed so human-like. Like, he let people interview him, and he was just like, yeah, I did this, I did that, I did this. And they were like, do you feel bad about it? He's like, yeah, I do feel bad. And they're like, but if you were let out, would you still be doing it? He's like, yep, I would. Because, like, it's, like, just an urge that he has to do. And it's so weird to me. Because, like, he had a conflicted childhood because his parents got divorced. And they argued a ton. But besides that, he was a pretty normal kid. Like, he was sort of an outcast. But he still had friends and all that.
Right.
But he was just obsessed with, like, bones.
Yeah, he ate thighs, hearts, and organs of his victims.
Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about.
He's also reported to fashioning his food into severed limbs, and he put ketchup all over it to freak out inmates. He'd also kill his neighbor's pets by impaling them in the head with a stick.
Mm-hmm.
He was also killed.
He was killed?
Yeah, that's what it says. When was he killed?
Oh, it just probably mean when he died.
Yeah. Probably executed. Yeah. Wait, that's a place of death.
Was he executed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer was himself violently murdered.
Oh, wow.
He was bludgeoned.
Bludgeoned and bloody on the bathroom floor, having suffered multiple blows to the head from a metal bar.
Huh. So he was killed.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's murder.
Do you think murdering murderers is bad? Like, do you think that was justified?
Morally or legally?
I don't know.
Morally, I'd say yes.
Well, legally, obviously, no.
Legally, no. We talked about this. So, we made this joke thing, right, in Music Flex at school called Operation OWL.
Yeah.
And Operation OWL is a reverse acronym. No, a double
acronym.
Double acronym. OWL, out with logic, on with lunacy, okay? And the idea of this group is it's a vigilante group of individuals, including Max.
It's not real.
It's not real. It's a joke.
It's purely satirical.
Yeah. But so, it's a group of individuals, including Max and I, and three other people.
Three
other people. So 5 total. And we all have code names that are named after certain owls. But the idea of this group is that we administer justice to our own moral compasses. So we
It's like Dexter, if anyone knows.
yeah,
what that
yeah.
is.
So we like kill bad people. So if someone's like a serial killer, we hunt them down and we kill them.
So it's like we're serial killers,
Uh-huh.
but we're only killing people who are worse than us.
yeah. We're vigilantes, bro. Like
Yeah.
But Max and I,
Batman.
Max
Batman
and I are
still
the
beats people
Max
up.
and I are the field guys. So we both are the ones who actually do the dirty work. We have two other guys who are like the techie guys in the van, and they do all like the computer side of stuff. And then, do we say
A grunt.
the grunt?
He does our heavy lifting.
He does all the heavy lifting work.
He's like the little temp. Yeah.
And my weapon of choice, my principal weapon is a katana, and Max is a giant hammer.
Yeah. And it's not like a big sledgehammer. It's like
An
a
actual
sledgehammer,
hammer.
but the end is a hammer you hammer nails with.
Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Shark.
Also, here's what I wanted to ask.
Why
you.
is there no water?
Ever?
No, no. We always have
Oh
water.
yeah, I was gonna do that, but then I tried to. My camera was messed up, so I had to fix it. Yeah, it feels weird not having a mug.
Yeah.
I had mugs before.
That was like my tick when I was like
Yeah.
had nothing to do. I would just. But now I have to.
Dude,
do
now that you
this
said that, my
and-
mouth is all messed up.
Yeah.
It's like that one episode in The Office with Pavlov. Anyway, I was gonna ask with the whole mystery thing. I was gonna ask if there was one crime you could commit or had to commit. What would it be? Like, would it be
That no one would find out about.
that you could get away with?
That I could get away with.
That you would get away with? Yeah.
I would get away with this.
Yeah. But you would get away with the crime. So if the crime was stealing $1 million,
You get to keep all the $1 million.
you would get to keep the $1 million. But after that,
You could.
if there was like the IRS, that would still be
Okay.
able to happen.
Okay.
But if you like killed someone, they would never find out it was you.
Unless I.
So it's like the crime. You get away
Sure.
with the crime.
hmm So unless you revive this issue, it would stay under the dirt.
No. So like
If I killed someone.
if you kill someone
And then I admitted to killing
and
them.
you admitted it, it'd be good.
Really?
Yeah, they wouldn't believe you.
What if I had evidence? I showed them the evidence.
That's not.
They wouldn't believe
that's not
you.
the point of the question. The point of the question is like you.
This is
can,
what you do with all my questions. You overanalyze
because
them.
it's funny. But anyway, what would you do? What would your crime
So we talked about this at lunch one day, and I said that I would steal the title of Amazon, right?
be? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you'd take the title, but then you get away with the crime, but then you have to face repercussions after that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't know.
They'd
Let's
be
just
like-
say you could do that.
If I could take the title of Amazon,
what would you
so
do?
here's the question that we wanted to we were posing at lunch one day. If you could, would you rather take the job position of CEO at Amazon? Would you rather take the salary of Jeff Bezos, or would you rather take the title of Amazon? So you own the company, you're the head of the company, or you have the income that is equivalent to the current owner of the company without the
know-
responsibilities.
The thing is, though, have you heard about the whole tax scandal with Elon Musk?
No.
So recently, there's been like a big thing in the news about Elon Musk, where basically he like hasn't been paying as much taxes as he's supposed to,
Okay.
and he was like, "Guys, I literally just have stock from Tesla." He's saying like he's worth 300 billion, which is the most out of anyone, but it's just Tesla stock. So anytime he wants to do something, he has to sell Tesla stock.
So
And
he
was
doesn't have a ton of
he
money
said, No,
himself.
he said that he doesn't make a salary. He doesn't have a salary from Tesla, which isn't true. Like, he lied about so much of it. Like, I didn't do the actual research. I saw someone else do the research, which doesn't mean anything really for you guys. But what I saw is that, like, he's pretty much just saying things that don't make any sense. Like,
Okay.
first of all, how do you buy anything if you sell stock all the time?
Huh?
Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm
How
saying?
do you buy anything if you...
So, like, how does he buy $1 million mansion?
Uh-huh.
Does he sell stock?
Yeah.
Okay,
So you start a company, right? You have all the stocks in that company.
sure.
And then
Well,
you
no, because a company doesn't automatically have stocks.
Right.
You have to give it stocks. You have to issue stocks.
But once you do that, once you issue stocks, well, in a good business model, you keep
Majority
most of them.
Yeah.
Right? That way you own the company more. And then you have a board of directors who also have huge shares. But anyway, let's say
But also, it was here's a side note. It was kind of funny because whenever he tweeted that, he was like, should I sell more stocks to do this and that? Everyone was like, no, please, my Tesla stocks are going to go down. But if he sells stocks and he has a bunch of them, then they're going to go down.
Please don't. So, with the idea of him having a majority of the stocks that he has. So he has high value stocks because he has a ton of stocks. He started the company and he hopefully has faith in his own company. He wouldn't need to be on salary, let's say, regardless of what actually is
he
true.
doesn't really need to be.
Right. Because he has so much money.
But I'm pretty sure he is.
Why?
I don't know the evidence.
I mean, yeah, it would make sense for him to be, because most people are...
Is he this? He's not the CEO, is he? I think he was fired.
What?
As the CEO.
How? By the board of directors?
Yeah, because just because you own a company and you're the CEO doesn't mean you can't be
He's the
fired.
founder of Tesla,
Yeah,
right?
but that doesn't mean anything.
Is Elon.
He's the founder of PayPal, too. CEO. No, he already is. Actually, technically he's not.
He's not.
Because he has potential $300 billion.
Is Elon Musk the CEO of Tesla? Of Dogecoin? He's the CEO of SpaceX.
Yeah, I don't think
He is the founder, CEO of SpaceX. He's the product architect for Tesla.
And CEO.
Mm-hmm. He's early stage investor, CEO, and product architect of Tesla.
He is not the founder of Tesla.
It says early stage investor.
Yeah,
CEO.
but he's not the founder. He's the founder of SpaceX.
Mm-hmm. He also is a good looking man.
Have you seen like his old pictures where he's like super balding and stuff?
No.
He definitely had surgery. Like hair implant.
Who's that one girl? There's this one song.
Mariah Carey.
There's this one song that this girl made about Elon Musk, and I thought that it was like his old ex-girlfriend or something, but like...
Grimes?
No, it's called Rat.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, I do too. It's cool.
About Elon Musk.
Yeah, was she like an old lover of his or something? Just a random person about talking?
Yeah, it's not talking about like...
It's a deeper meaning.
Loving him. It's talking about loving
his ideas.
People that are rich.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because like Elon Musk, when you first look at him, you're like, oh my god, he seems so down to earth. And he seems like he wants to actually improve society.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you get into the deeper side of it, he just wants money. Like, you can tell he really just wants money.
Uh-huh. Elon Musk co-founded and leads Tesla.
That's cool.
That's what Tesla.com says. He also did SpaceX,
And
Neuralink, and The Boring Company. As the co-founder and CEO of Tesla, Elon leads all product designs, engineering, and global manufacturing of the company's electronic vehicles.
Does he get a salary from Tesla?
Does Elon Musk get a salary?
Also, look up how to pronounce his son's name.
No. He does not receive a paycheck from the electronic... This is from BusinessInsider.com. He does not receive a paycheck from the electronic vehicle maker in 2021. That doesn't mean he doesn't get direct deposit. Direct deposit. It says he doesn't. His salary in
I'm pretty sure he was saying that he doesn't get a salary because, like, if you don't have a salary, you can't get taxes on a salary because you don't have a salary. So that's why his taxes are so low.
Uh-huh.
But he definitely does something to not have to pay as much taxes.
He owns the government.
You know, like...
What is Neuralink?
Oh, dude, Neuralink is actually really cool.
High-tech bandwidth brain-machine interfaces.
Here's what they do.
Humans and computers.
What they do is they put this little thing...
I've heard about this, yeah.
...in their brain, in a monkey's brain, in a little fat baboon. No, it's just a chimpanzee. They put it in their brain. It scans their brain and reads their electrons firing whenever it does actions. So what they do is, they have Pong, the game Pong, and they have him play Pong. And every time he wins, he gets a little treat, so it keeps him playing. Mm-hmm. But he's playing it, and they're analyzing whatever his brain activity is doing whenever he's playing. Then they take away the controller and they connect the Neuralink to the screen, and he can still play it. So they're
surgically implemented.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what they're trying to do is make a thing you can put in your brain where if you do something, like, you think about it, it happens. So, like, it would work for, like, amputees.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, like that kind of thing.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like they can do it with muscle recognition, but it's very difficult. It's slow.
What about this?
Video games.
Yeah, but what about this?
What about what?
You have that thing that's put in your brain,
Uh-huh.
but it's connected to the internet, so that if you
Yeah,
think about anything,
yeah,
you have the answer to it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah,
Well, it would be more like artificial
intelligence.
reality, AR technology.
Yeah.
It would be like either like an
You could-
implant on your eye or like a little piece of glass that like displays
Google
something.
glasses,
You
yeah.
think about it and then it just goes.
Or, what if you can make it so that it actually just appeared through your eyes?
Yeah, with an implant.
No, without.
Yeah, you'd have to.
You could.
How could you connect that to your cortex?
trick your brain into
Not your
thinking
cortex,
something
your
is there?
eye.
Like imagine this. So
The cone thing.
imagine this.
Cornea.
So
Cornea?
without, you could alter something that's not actually there, right? But you think that it's there because it shows up. So you trick your brain into thinking with this Neuralink. This is completely theoretical and probably doesn't exist. But something in your brain that would tell
Yeah.
your brain this is there, but it's not actually there.
No, that could happen.
Yeah.
That's just what hallucinations are.
Yeah. It's like a hallucination.
So, think
but
about
it
this.
could basically be there.
What if there's a time where everyone has a Neuralink?
Mm-hmm.
He hacks them all. Or doesn't even have to hack because he's the owner.
Convinces
He
you
gets
that
into
you need
all
to
of them
Die.
and he puts like monsters or something.
Yeah.
He makes us think we're in a world we're not living in.
Huh.
That's what people are scared of.
It sounds like Mark of the Beast.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
But it sounds like 1984 to me. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Or read that?
No.
Neither have I, but I know a lot about it because people talk about it like they think they know about it when they don't know about it, even though I don't know about it. Some say COVID vaccine is the mark of the beast. Number of the beast?
No.
That's what you wrote. You clicked on number of the
Did
beast.
I? That's not what I wanted.
Isn't that just... So, do you know what 1984 is?
No.
Oh, I thought you knew about it.
No, I didn't.
So 1984 is a book by George Orwell. Does that
Okay.
ring a bell?
Yeah.
It's basically it's what Big Brother is from. You know
Okay.
Big Brother?
That concept of
The concept of an all-seeing, an all-knowing eye that's watching you at all times.
okay.
It's basically a alternate reality where it's like a fictional story of an alternate reality where there's surveillance cameras everywhere. They know what you're thinking. There's thought police that can like know what you're thinking if they like think you did something or whatever. And it's like a surveillance age or whatever, like a surveillance mind,
Okay.
a hive mind or whatever. And it's like what people have been comparing getting the vaccine to, which is why it's very popular. They're like, you know, in the beginning, I mean, people still probably think this because they're stupid, but in the beginning they were like, if I get the vaccine, they're putting a chip in me and they're going to track me. They were saying that was 1984 because like in 1984, like everyone's tracked and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So what I was going to say with that is, I know you're like in the degrowth mindset. Would you rather degrowth to the very starting of civilization or have safety, but like Big Brother? Because like people can still be happy with Big Brother. It's just that you can't do certain things without everyone know. Like if you're a law-abiding citizen, everything will be fine. But like the government can do anything, anything they want.
Yeah. I would go back to a point where civilizations are existing, but without switching monetary value out with paper or with insignificant objects. So back to bartering days.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, you would have to go back all the way, is what I'm saying. But here's the thing. Did you know this? In
No, I know.
Huh?
I know.
In London, I don't know what year. I think it was 1917. I saw this on Reddit.
Oh, I believe it.
No, it was a picture of a document that they had typed up with a typewriter
Okay.
from 1917 in like some museum of London, where it was like what they did was they wrote down a bunch of causes of death, and beside that they would put the number of how many people died from that.
Okay.
So like that's how they kept track of who died in London or
Sure.
whatever. So basically, one of the highest ones was childbirth.
Okay.
And then there was also like there was like it said like 500 for like abortion, but their abortion wasn't our abortion. Their abortion was like when they die during birth or stillborn, which is like they're born.
So not even intentional.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they die.
So miscarriage is included.
And then there was childbirth, which is like the mom dies. Mm-hmm. And there were a bunch of deaths from that. Mm-hmm. So like, would you would go back to that just to have the degrowth of it? Because like you don't go back with the knowledge you have now. Because like if we went back, no, you're a regular person in that time.
Okay.
If we went back with our knowledge, we could probably stop a lot of deaths from happening because we know about general sanitation,
which they didn't know. They didn't know germ theory. And...
Yeah, like I don't know like medical ways to help a pregnancy happen, but I feel like I know more than they did. Even like I feel like I knew more than a regular civilization.
I wouldn't agree. I would. I don't. You might, but I don't.
You don't know?
No, I don't.
Well.
I know very little.
I think that you know more than they. Because like so. they did so many things wrong.
The only thing that I know,
they did things that were worse.
I could be able to say like, no, that is not the way you do it.
Don't do that.
But I wouldn't be able to say like, yeah, this is the way that you.
You know what they used to do? At one point, they would have the pregnant lady who's going into labor stand against a tree, and the baby would come out vertically, and they would catch it.
Yeah, I would be like, no.
Yeah,
I'd be able to say like the stuff I know from movies is like lay on the back.
Right.
Lay on your back, lay and like try to be comfortable.
Well, the thing I don't know about is like the diameter thing, where it's like if it's a certain amount dilated is when you should start pushing.
Yeah.
And then like you should do this and this and this. Yeah. I don't know any of that.
But you would know
like,
that with,
I would know
Google search.
By a certain amount. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that I would also go back because I don't like surveillance. But it would suck either way.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about surveillance.
Really?
No, not really.
I think you should be.
I mean, I probably should be.
Yeah. I feel like, I'm not as worried as a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely worried-ish because I feel like companies know more than they should, and they're selling it to, like, other countries for reasons we don't know.
Yeah.
Which is worrying to me.
I heard about this in a health class. Okay.
Babies don't exist.
No, I heard this in a health class. We were talking about they were talking about social media, and they were talking about all that junk. And my health teacher was like, she said, "What is something that you guys know about social media right now that would freak me out?" And so a kid was telling her about snap maps, right? About how you can know where people are, locations and stuff at all times.
So Snapchat knows where everyone is at all times.
Which is really weird. But she was like, yeah, that's really weird. I know a story about Snapchat. I had a student who had Snapchat and she was using it and yada yada yada. And one day her mother was driving on the highway and saw her own child on a billboard. Okay? On the highway. She talked to her kid and was like, "How is this photo of you on a billboard?" And she was like, "Oh, I sent that to someone via Snap." And I put like a hashtag on it and I put it on like my story or whatever. Like she sent it using Snap. She never gave any agreement saying like, yeah, you can put on a billboard.
She did give an agreement.
She did, yeah.
Because as soon as you make an account, you accept that.
You accept all that.
That also includes everything on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
Any photo you ever send on Instagram is legally owned by Instagram.
Yeah, that's
even
weird.
If you're a photographer.
You have no rights anymore. But yeah, but at the same time, that kind of stuff doesn't really worry me too much. It doesn't keep me up at night.
Like, I think the way it is now, it's okay. But the thing is, they're trying to make it worse, which is not good.
How are they trying to make it worse?
Well, besides Apple. Apple's actually really good with that. Like, Apple has made it so that there are certain apps that, like, you know how Apple, like, they allow apps to be given to people. They made, like, an agreement with apps that are, like, you have to have your terms of service easy to be read. Like, a certain easy amount to be read so that people know what they're getting into.
Right.
Like, because you can just be like, press here if you want to accept, and then, like, you're in.
Yeah.
But Apple was like, yeah, we want to actually, like, make sure people know what they're doing.
Right.
And I'm not saying Apple's, like, a great company or anything. I'm just saying, like, they're actually trying to help. But they're, like, a lot of, like, you know Facebook?
Yeah.
Which is now Meta. Now they changed their name to Meta.
Really?
Yeah, because the name Facebook has a lot of negative connotations now.
Interesting.
But anyway, Facebook used to, this was very popular and, like, for a long time. So you probably already know this. But, like, they would take, people put everything in Facebook. They put, like, their status of marriage. They put where they live. They put their name. They put everything, their company, whatever. They would take that information, which is legally theirs, round it up in like these harvesting things, and they would sell it to countries. They sold it to China.
Huh.
And we don't know what it was used for, but they sold it to China for money. So the thing was, they made like, those little like questionnaires that you sometimes get.
Yeah.
They would do those, and then they would learn so much more. And it's like, all the information you give them, they're using.
Yeah.
Here's something I heard of, which I thought was
cater to you heavily with advertisements.
Oh, but dude, I looked up on Amazon like a comic book or something, and then I saw an ad for like something comic on Instagram. Like it's all connected.
Yeah.
But another thing I was gonna say is, I saw this quote which I thought was really interesting. If something is free, the product is you.
Take a moment to digest that.
Yeah, do you understand that?
Yeah,
If Instagram is free for us because we are the product, they are getting money for ads from us.
Wow.
Yeah. So if something is free, it's because we are the product. I mean, not always, like charity, but also charity. People thinks it gives them good rep. So like that's also
it's internal product.
Dude, I'm never giving.
It's
anything
too late
free.
for this.
Nothing is free ever again.
I heard something that was like, well, there's nothing that's free. There's always a cost for everything, right? That's also a truth.
Well, yeah, but the point is like the cost of having free Instagram is your information.
Yeah. The bill always comes due. That's a reference.
That's free. What?
It's a reference.
The bill always comes due?
Mm-hmm.
What is it from?
Doctor Strange. Anybody else get that? Let me know
I've
if you
seen
got
it,
that.
but I don't remember.
Very end, the one wizard who quits and decides.
Mads Mikkelsen?
Uh-huh.
Look up Mads Mikkelsen real quick.
Mads Mikkelsen?
Is that him?
Danish actor, originally a gymnast.
Sure looks like him.
Nope, not him.
That's him.
Who?
Mads Mikkelsen.
What about him?
He's the wizard talking about.
No, the wizard I'm talking about is the black guy.
Huh? The villain?
No.
Oh. They're talking about the villain in Doctor Strange.
No.
Which one then?
Doctor Strange.
Wong? Are you talking about Wong?
No, he's like the guy who...
Oh, the guy that leaves?
Baron Mordo. Yeah. So, you know how they were talking about how like the bald girl? What's her name?
The great one?
The great one, yeah. She
the ancient one.
The ancient one, yeah. She like broke the rules because she used
the time stone.
No, she used like the dark magic, right? In order to keep herself young so she could help people. And she was at the end of the movie they're like, "Oh, it's all resolved." And Doctor Strange was like, we did it. We like got the dark magic back where it belongs. And no one's gonna use it anymore. But this guy, he was like, "What do you mean? Like our founding like person was corrupt and she used dark magic. You think it's just we're gonna walk away from this? Like it's gonna be totally fine? No. The bill always comes due. We're gonna have to pay for the price of this later because we let her do this and
then he leaves.
Yeah, and then he quits.
They never learn of him again.
Well, I've heard rumors that he's gonna come back, but I don't know.
In the second one? I don't think so. Because that's Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. But like what if No, because isn't he in an ending credits of something?
Is he?
I think so.
Could be.
Baron Mordo. End credits scene. Yeah, he's in one.
Well, he's just in the Doctor Strange one.
YouTube on my iPad is jacked up.
Well, they don't let you watch a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look it up if you want. But he's like the bill always comes due.
Yeah.
There's a price to pay for everything.
I'm like on Instagram, I'm like I follow a bunch of like superhero accounts and stuff. So
you see that's your predominantly in your feed is that?
Well, if I go to like no, not my feed. My predominant feed is like people I know and school stuff. But if I go to like explore, or like the search bar, and then I scroll down, most of that is superhero stuff. So I always see like if there's ever leaks or like stuff like that, I always see it. So like I know a bunch of spoilers for so many things. Like the
shoot.
the post-credit scene for Eternals, I know what it is.
I haven't seen Eternals yet.
Neither have I.
You should watch it
Okay.
right now.
I've heard
on the podcast.
people think it's good, but critics don't think it's good.
I heard that people think it's bad, and critics think it's good.
That's not true.
I heard that the people that I've talked to about, they were like, yeah, it was like, it got a similar reaction to Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
That Captain Marvel did. They were like, it was a political cop out kind of thing.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel was a good movie.
No, it was not.
Captain Marvel was a good
No,
movie.
it was not.
It was not.
Captain Marvel was a terrible movie. I hated every second of that movie.
Why?
Because it was so unnecessary.
What do you mean?
No one asked for it. No one wanted it.
I
right?
did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I wanted her origin story in the MCU.
I didn't want her at all.
Okay.
I did not want a Captain Marvel in the MCU. It was perfectly fine with the group that we had, and then they had to add, like, we what do we have? We had the origin stories of an elite team of superheroes, the Avengers, right? We had these stories of individuals. We saw their rise to power, how they got their powers, and we saw growth of them as individuals once they got their powers. Now we're introduced to this complete cop-out of a superhero who has undeniable power from a spaceship accident?
How do you feel about WandaVision?
I also didn't really like that one either.
How do you feel about Age of Ultron?
I liked that one.
Well, they introduced new characters.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't need to have Ultron. We didn't need to have Wanda and the super fat Quicksilver. But they introduced them because it enhanced
Quicksilver
the story.
dies off.
So, WandaVision doesn't, and now she's a main part of Phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a plan.
But the thing is,
Captain Marvel isn't dead.
Wanda doesn't have, completely unparalleled power. Right?
Neither does she.
Captain Marvel?
Thanos literally punched her into space.
Punched her into space?
Yeah.
And then she came back and
she
annihilated
didn't.
everybody?
No, she didn't.
What?
He punched her into space with the Power Stone, and she didn't come back for the rest of the movie. Because he destroyed her.
I don't remember that.
She came down. They were like, oh, something coming through the atmosphere. She shoots through the spaceship. She starts beating up Thanos, and she's, winning. And then he's like, okay. And then he uses the Power Stone, and she flies off into space, and she's not there for the rest of the movie.
It's still annoying, though, how she, can't die.
She can die. Everyone can die.
Nah.
Everyone in the whole
Who do we have?
MCU
We had any rival of Captain Marvel could annihilate all the Avengers in a second. Right?
No.
Anyone who's of the same par. If Captain Marvel turns
Thanos.
evil. Yeah. Thanos was not an
not-
even match to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Could Captain. No, because he
Thanos
couldn't kill
beat
her.
up. Yes, she did.
No, because the thing is.
Thanos won when he fought her. That's what I just said.
Yeah, because Thanos didn't win when he beat her. He just knocked. He just displaced
if
her.
it was her versus him, and he had what he had at that time,
He could have.
would've
If
killed
he
her.
did what he did to any of the other Avengers, instantly dead.
not true. Because he did what he did to them, and they didn't die. Doctor Strange, he used the Power Stone against him, didn't die.
Yeah, but Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange.
So?
An exception.
Well, that means she's an exception as well.
No, because he has a goatee.
You can't just say that some people are allowed to have plot armor and others aren't.
I also think she is a bad character.
Okay.
Just the way that,
I don't like how she's written.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean she's a bad character. I think there's a reason they introduced her, and that she will have just as much exposure.
I will say this. I'm open to her being used. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way she was introduced. I don't like the way that she exists as a entity so far in Marvel. Right?
Mm-hmm.
How she's this so far above everyone else, and she's magically comes out of nowhere when they needed her for this movie, right? But I want them to use her well, right?
Well, the point of them introducing a very powerful person is, one, to show that Thanos and his army is super powerful, and two, is so that they can introduce villains that are equally as powerful as Thanos, even more powerful.
What I just said, if they have any villain that they introduce or are going to introduce that can rival Captain Marvel, give Captain Marvel a run for her money, right?
Mm-hmm.
It totally undermines the rest of the Avengers. Because the rest of the Avengers are so beneath Captain Marvel.
Here's the thing. I
hope Captain Marvel turns evil.
Here's what... She's not going to turn evil. Here is what is going to happen. There's going to be street-level Avengers and cosmic-level Avengers.
Why?
The Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor are going to be with the Eternals and such, and they're going to fight a big thing.
I don't even know what the Eternals are.
The Eternals are...
I want to find out by the movies.
Okay, but the Eternals... So, do you know, what they represent?
I have no idea.
So
I know that it's a movie name, and I know that it's a group of individuals who appear to be very ethically diverse. That's
okay.
all.
So basically, the Eternals, they're just like people that have been there for a long time, but they have powers.
Okay. That seems like a cop-out, too.
I was going to explain to you that the Eternals are like Captain Marvel, but imagine Captain Marvel where her powers are lessened, but then she has one power, which is heightened.
Okay.
So, like,
So
all of
Captain
them...
Marvel's really well-rounded. They're like Power Rangers.
Kind of. So, like, imagine Superman, but he can't fly, but he's really fast, but, like, fast... So imagine a superhuman, but they're not they're not Superman, but they're a superhuman, but then they all have one thing that they're really good at.
They're X-Men.
Kind of. No, because X-Men are just human with one good thing. They're superhuman. Like,
Are they immortal?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you haven't seen
So in the comics, they're all like really weird. Like, but anyway, in the comics, they all have like pretty much the same powers. They're all Supermen with one more power. So like one of them is Superman, except not Superman. So like, they all have the power of flight in the comics. They all have the power of flight, superhuman strength, and then like immortality and stuff. And
I thought
then
Superman... Never mind.
one of them has like super speed, and then one of them has like laser eyes.
Okay.
And one has flight.
Okay.
Well, they all have flight sometimes. And then one has like extra super strength or something.
Okay.
So it's like that.
Okay.
So they're just as bad as Captain Marvel, if that's what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, they're gonna have two different sections, two different worlds. One
Cosmic
is on Earth.
and street.
Yeah, one is on Earth, where it's like, have you seen Winter Soldier and Falcon?
I've seen all the ones out so far.
Yeah,
Except for Eternals and the Ten Rings.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
They're both out.
I know.
I didn't know that until today.
Loki is gonna be with... If Loki is introduced into like the main movie stuff, he's gonna be with the cosmic stuff.
Right.
And then like Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Black Panther new movie, and then stuff like that. Like the
All
whole
street level.
There's a new movie coming out called Ironheart, a new She-Hulk movie, a new Moon Knight movie, or not movie. These are all TV shows. Those are all gonna be like on Earth stuff.
Okay.
And that's it.
My least favorite series out so far has been Falcon and Winter Soldier.
My least favorite was WandaVision.
I thought my Wandavision was cool. Maybe because my sister hyped it up a ton. And there was a bunch of like... The whole thing was like a mystery at first. I really liked that element. I was like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, me too. But also, I don't know.
There was a lot of hype around. There was like secret messages
I feel like
hidden in it.
The Winter Soldier and the Falcon, it seemed more like a movie. Like it seemed like it fit. Like it seemed like it worked.
Uh-huh.
Whereas WandaVision, it was like, oh boy, what's gonna happen this time? And then also there was like that whole Quicksilver thing.
Yeah. I thought there was a lot of fluff in Winter Soldier. I felt like
I thought there was more fluff in WandaVision.
I thought there was a lot of stuff in... Yeah, but WandaVision was interesting.
WandaVision was a cop-out.
What?
The end.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was a complete cop-out twice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's not real.
Yeah, one, it's not real, and the other one, it's like, oh, she's a witch. Like, where did that come from? Like, oh, she had powers because of mutation in Age of Ultron, and then at the end, she's like, oh, no, she's actually a witch. What?
I thought that...
I thought Winter Soldier was really cool because of the whole, like, it felt more... I felt more emotionally connected with Winter Soldier than I did that one.
Because
like,
of the
whole vigilante group.
Yeah.
Because they were actually, like, a cause that you could believe in.
You believed in, yeah.
Whereas WandaVision was like, everyone was rooting for Wanda because she's a hero. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought that with Winter Soldier, I thought that it was really cool ideas stretched out a ton. There was a lot of, like, dialogue in there that was, like... There was...
Yeah, it was more like...
There was a lot of dialogue that was, like, not very action-based.
Yeah.
And I wanted action. I went into it like, Falcon Winter Soldier, that's going to be so cool.
There was less action in WandaVision than there was in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but they didn't need to rely on it. I guess. I didn't go into WandaVision thinking, like, oh, there's going to be a ton of fight scenes. Whenever it was a mystery.
But when there was action in Winter Soldier, it was better than WandaVision.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the action was so good.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole fight scenes in that, it was crazy. Also, the comic accurate suits are really good. I like them.
Comic accurate suits?
Yeah, like the whole... Whenever the Falcon gets his new suit.
Oh, yeah.
It's, like, so good. Mm-hmm.
He's the new captain.
Dude, you just spoiled it.
It's been out for how long?
I said he got his new suit. You said,
If you haven't seen it, I don't feel
Loki
bad.
was the best, though.
Loki was the best.
Everyone
agrees with
yeah.
that. Yeah. Loki was great. His
I
name
just
means...
finished it recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because you just got it again, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta wrap this episode up now.
The ending was weird, though. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh. Okay. Well, let's wrap up the episode.
Yeah, this is a long one. How long is this? Yeah, this is a long one.
It's going to be like an hour and 20 minutes.
Is this the first one's going to be over an hour?
No.
Was the first one over an hour?
The second one was over an hour.
No, it was not.
Well, then, yes.
I edited it. I thought the second one was short.
No. The first one was the shortest so far.
You are not correct.
What do you mean?
So technically episode
What?
1 was over an hour by a minute.
That's because you cut a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
In this
I
second
edited a
one.
ton to make it flow better. Anyway.
Max.
He's talking to the dog.
I think that sometimes dogs talk when they go. Like, my dog does that. Whenever I talk to him, he goes. And I'm like, what are you trying to say, buddy?
What are you trying to say, man?
All right. Well, this is the wrap of episode 3. Episode 4 will be out in 2 weeks or less.
Sorry for the delay
Or
for this
more.
one.
I'm not. Because you know what? I make the product you want, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you want more of it, you must obey my demands.
It's supposed to be fun, though. And it was a stressful week. And if we would have fit it in, it would have been really hard. So
Yeah.
we wanted this to be a fun, like, stress-free thing for us.
I think this one went well.
I do, too.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sick this time.
Yep. There was, like, interesting topics that we talked about. I got to pretend like I was super smart for the first half and then geek out
And
for
then,
the second
yeah,
half.
in the second half, we went from something to Marvel. And then we just
Quantum
talked about
physics
Marvel.
to
Yeah.
mysteries to Marvel. Yeah.
Pretty cool, pretty cool.
And do you know how we got to Marvel?
No?
My reference of the Bill
Oh, yeah.
comes to.
The reference.
Interesting how we segue like that.
It's almost like we're awesome.
We are interesting to talk to. The piano was never used.
It
this
wasn't
episode.
on.
Now we use the piano.
Ding dong.
Yep. Thank you guys
Musical-
for watching. Oh, you have to sign up. It's your episode.
So, band is over. So we shouldn't have any more delays because we'll have a lot more free time.
Mhm.
Musical will be starting in 2 days.
Mhm.
Ah!
However, musical is much more all over the place.
Yeah, there's no really...
Yeah, band was like you have rehearsals these days and you have to work around that. With musical, it changes every week, so
Which
it's
sucks.
much more fluid. It's kind of annoying.
Because, like, it would make more sense if it's like, oh, it's fluid, but be there if you can.
Yeah,
But it's not that. It's like fluid, but you
But you
have
need
to
to
be
be
there.
there.
And then band is like, here's where you have to be there.
Yep.
Which makes more sense. Anyway,
but it also makes sense for musical because you need to have.
yeah,
it
you
makes-
have to have the fluidity.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been Max and Jeffrey talk about things and then talk about Marvel at the end of it.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Boom. Bing bong.
Camera was off.
Was it actually? Dude, it might be.